Ibrahim asked, "What's the purpose of your coming, messengers?" They replied, "We've been sent to the wicked people to pelt them with clay stones marked by your Lord for those who've gone beyond limits. We rescued the believers from there. We only found a single household of believers, and we left behind a sign for those who fear the painful punishment." Also in the story of Musa is a sign. When we sent him with a clear authority to Pharaoh, he turned away because of his military might and said, "Musa is a magician or a madman." So we seized him and his army and threw them into the sea. He was guilty. And in the story of Ad is a lesson too. When we sent devastating wind upon them, in its wake it left behind everything crushed and torn up. And in the story of Thamud, when it was said to them, "Enjoy yourselves for a while," they disobeyed the Lord's command and they were seized by a blast as they watched. Neither could they bear the punishment nor defend themselves against us. The people of Nuh before them faced a similar fate. They too were sinners. We built the universe with our creative power, and we're ever expanding it. And the earth, we spread out and leveled it smoothly. We created everything in pairs so that you may reflect. So run quickly to Allah. I am a clear warner to you. Don't set up gods beside Allah. I am a clear warner to you. This is exactly what previous people did when a messenger was sent. They called him a magician or a madman. Did they tell one another to do this? No, they were transgressors. So ignore them. You're not to blame. Continue reminding. A reminder benefits the believers. I created jinn and human beings only to worship me. I don't want any sustenance from them, nor for them to feed me. Allah is surely the sustainer, the superpower and strong. The wrongdoers will have the punishment like their ancestors, so they shouldn't ask me to hasten it. It will be too bad for the disbelievers that day, which they've been promised. Surah At-Tur, the mountain. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. By the mountain, and by a book written down on open pages, and by Baitul Ma'mur, and by the soaring roof, and by the overfull ferocious sea, your Lord's punishment will come to pass. No power can stop it. Even the sky will shudder and judder that day, and the mountains will float. Ruined that day will be for the deniers who amuse themselves with useless projects. That day they will be thrust into the fire of hell. This is the fire you used to deny. Is this magic? Or do you not see? Burn in it. Whether you are patient or not, it is the same. You are being rewarded for what you did. The righteous will be in gardens full of luxuries, enjoying what the Lord gave them and protected them from the punishment of hell. They shall be told, "Eat, drink and be merry," a reward for what you did. They will rest on comfortable sofas gracefully arranged in rows, and we shall marry them with spouses with beautiful eyes. The believers whose children follow them in faith will be united with them in paradise, without their parents' good deeds being diminished in value. Each person is answerable for his deeds. We shall feed them with all the kinds of fruits and meat they desire. A cup of wine passed around will not cause drunken uproar or a sin. Serving them will be young people as beautiful as hidden pearls. Turning to each other, they will ask, "Were we not fearful about the fate of our families?" Allah has favored us and spared us the punishment of the intense fire. We used to pray to Him, the good, the caring. So, remind them, by the grace of your Lord, you aren't a soothsayer nor a madman. They call you a poet, and we are waiting to see what time will do to him. Tell them, wait if you wish, and I shall wait with you. Or do their minds tell them to say this? Or are they simply a bunch of unruly people? Or they say, he has made it up. Never will they believe. So let them bring a book like it if they are truthful. Were they created without a creator? Or are they themselves creators? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Nay, they will never be convinced. Or is it that they possess the treasures of your Lord, or have control over them? Or do they have a ladder that allows them to eavesdrop on the secrets of the heavens? Let their eavesdropper bring clear proof. Or is it that he has daughters and you have sons? Or do you ask them for a wage for this guidance that would make them heavily indebted? Or do they have the knowledge of the unseen they write down? Or do they want to deceive you? The disbelievers only deceive themselves. Or do they have a God besides Allah? Glory be to Allah. He is far above what they associate with Him. Even if they saw a part of the sky fall, they would say, it's merely heaps of cloud. So leave them till they encounter the day they'll die, a day when their plots will not benefit them at all, neither will they be helped. For the evildoers, there's another punishment in this world before that one, but most of them don't know. Therefore, wait patiently for your Lord's judgment. You are always in our eyes. So glorify and praise your Lord whenever you stand for the prayer, and also at night. Glorify Him till the stars fade away. Surat Al-Najm, the Star. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. By the shining star when it came down, your companion is neither misguided nor deluded. He doesn't speak from his desire. This is a revelation sent down and taught to him by the most powerful angel, the most wise. When he appeared to him, standing on the uppermost horizon, then drawing closer, he came down next to each other or even closer. So he revealed to Allah's servant what he revealed. His heart didn't deny what he saw. So why are you disputing what he saw? And on another occasion, he saw him coming down near the far side of the Lot tree. Nearby was the paradise of Mawa. The Lot tree was covered with indescribable splendor. His eyes didn't wander nor turn to the side as he witnessed the greatest signs of his Lord. Disbelievers, have you thought about Al-Lat, Al-Uzza and Al-Manat, the third of them? You chose sons for yourselves and daughters for Allah. Why? How unfair is this division? These are merely names you and your forefathers gave them. Allah hasn't given them any authority. They are following suspicions and their whims. The Lord's guidance has come to them. Does a person always get his wish? Both the hereafter and this world belong to Allah. There are many angels in heaven. Their intercession cannot benefit anyone except after Allah allows it for anyone He wants. The disbelievers of the hereafter give the angels female names. They have no knowledge and follow speculation. And speculation is no substitute for the truth. So pay no attention to the one who is turned away from our remembrance and pursues the life of this world. This is the sum total of their knowledge. Indeed, your Lord knows who strayed from His path and who is guided. Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah. He shall punish the evil and richly reward the righteous, who avoid major sins and shameful deeds, but may stumble into minor sins. Your Lord is infinite in forgiveness. He knows you from the time He created you from the earth, and when you were a fetus in your mother's wombs. So don't admire yourselves too much. He knows well who is mindful. Have you seen him who turned away? He gives little anyway, then becomes more stingy. Does he know the unseen? Is he seeing it? Does he know what's in the scriptures of Musa and Ibrahim? He fulfilled his responsibility of preaching. No one bears the burden of another, and each person will have what he strived for. Soon the outcome of his work will be shown and will be fully rewarded. The final destination is to your Lord. He makes you laugh and cry. He gives death and life. He created the male and the female from a drop of spurted semen. He is responsible for the second creation, who gives wealth and poverty. The Lord of the stars, Sirius, He destroyed the first Ad and Thamud and didn't leave a single one of them. and the people of Nuh before that, since they were evildoers and rebellious. He destroyed the towns of Sodom and Gomorrah and covered them with rubble, so they are hidden from sight. So which favors of your Lord will you doubt? This warner is like the previous warners. The judgment day is near and draws ever nearer. There is no one beside Allah who can disclose its time. Are you surprised about this? Would you laugh and not cry? You are careless and ignorant. Prostrate before Allah and worship Him. Surat Al-Qamar, the moon. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. The final hour is drawing nearer and the moon has split into two. And after seeing the miracle, they turned away saying, "This is a powerful magic." They denied and followed their whims, for every action produces a specific outcome. The reports of ancient people have come to them containing lessons with far-reaching wisdom, but those warnings didn't benefit them. Messenger, turn away from them. One day a caller will call them to something terrible. With eyes lowered, they will exit their graves like swarms of locusts, rushing in terror towards the caller, and the disbelievers will say, "This is a difficult day." Previously, the people of Nuh denied our servant and called him a madman and severely scolded him. He cried out to his Lord, "I am weak and beaten, so help me." So we opened the sky's floodgates with torrential rain and caused the earth's springs to surge, and the two waters met as predesigned. We carried him on a boat made of wooden planks held together with nails, floating under our watchful gaze. A magnificent reward for the one denied. We left that as a sign. Will anyone pay attention? How terrible were my punishments and warnings. We made the Quran easy to learn and understand. So is there anyone who will pay attention? The people of Ad also denied. So how terrible were my punishment and warnings. We sent a howling storm wind on a day of bitter misfortune, which blew people away like uprooted palm trunks. How terrible were my punishment and warnings. We have made the Quran easy to learn and understand. So is there anyone who will pay attention? The people of Thamud also denied our warnings. They said, "We must be misguided and mad people if we follow one man from among us. How could he be given a revelation? He is a big-headed liar. Tomorrow they shall know who is a big-headed liar. We shall send a she-camel to test them, so patiently watch over them. And tell them, the water shall be divided equally among them, and each will come to it when it's their turn." So they called for their leader, who cut the hamstrings of the she-camel. How terrible were my punishment and warnings. Indeed, we made the Quran easy to learn and understand. Is there anyone who will pay attention? We sent a single blast to destroy them, and they became like dried up twigs of the sheepfold. The people of Lut denied the warnings. We sent a sandstorm of stones. The only exception was the family of Lut. We saved them at dawn, a favor from us. This is how we reward the thankful. He warned them clearly about our punishment, but they disputed the warnings. They also demanded from him his guests. So we blinded them and told them, "Taste my punishment and the warnings." So early one morning, a lasting punishment seized them. It was said, "Taste my punishment and warnings." We made the Quran easy to learn and understand. Is there anyone who will pay attention? Warners came to the people of Pharaoh, but they denied all our signs, so we grabbed them with force and power. Are your disbelievers, the Quraysh, stronger than them? Or have they been promised protection in divine scriptures? Or do they say, "We are a united people bound to be victorious"? Soon they will be defeated, and they will turn their backs and flee. The judgment day is their appointed time, and it will be a terrifying and most difficult day. The sinners are indeed misguided and foolish. The day when they are dragged on their faces and thrown into hell, it will be said, "Taste the burning of hellfire." We created everything in a precisely measured way. Our order is carried out instantly, like the blink of an eye. We destroyed the likes of you, so is there anyone who will pay attention? Everything they did is in the records, whether big or small. All was written down. The righteous will be in paradise with flowing streams, a delightful place in the presence of the all-powerful King. Surat Ar-Rahman, the most kind. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. It is Ar-Rahman who taught the beloved messenger the Majestic Quran. He created human beings and taught them the art of communication. The sun and the moon orbit in set paths. Plants and trees bow before him. He raised the sky and established the scales of justice. So don't disturb the scales of justice. Give due weight and measure. Don't shortchange one another. He created the earth for living creatures, fruits and date trees with sheathed bunches, husked grains and fragrant flowers. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? He created human beings from oven-baked clay and created jinn from smokeless flame. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? He is Lord of two risings and settings. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? He combined the sea water and the fresh water. There's an invisible barrier between them which stops them mixing. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Pearls large and small come from there. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? The ships sail on the seas looming high like mountains. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? All things on earth will perish. All that will remain is your Lord, the majestic and the giver of honor. So which favor of your Lord will you deny? All that is in the heavens and the earth depends on him. Every day he appears in wondrous ways. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? We'll give you attention, humans and jinn. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Humans and jinn, if you have the capability of passing beyond the regions of heaven and the earth, then do so. But you won't be able to pass without authority. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Flames of fire will lash at you, cover you with smoke, and leave you defenseless. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? When the sky splits up, it will be bright red, like red leather. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? That day neither human nor jinn will be asked about their sins. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? The sinners will be recognized by the marks on their faces, and they shall be grabbed by their forelocks and feet. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? This is hell that the sinners denied. Here they will wander aimlessly between hell and cauldrons of boiling water. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? The person who feared standing before his Lord will have two gardens. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Both with thick foliage. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Both with two flowing fountains. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Both with fruits of two kinds. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Sitting relaxed on sofas lined with brocade, with their low-hanging fruit gardens. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? In them will be ladies with lowered gazes, who no man or jinn would have touched. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Like glamorous rubies and pearls. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? What is the reward for kindness except kindness? So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Beside these there are two other gardens. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? both with deep green foliage. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Both have two gushing fountains. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Both gardens will have plenty of fruit dates and pomegranates. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? In them will be ladies with charming character and beauty. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? With beautiful eyes living in tall tents. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Never touched before by a human origin. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Sitting relaxed on soft cushions and fine carpets. So which favors of your Lord will you deny? Blessed is the name of your Lord, most majestic and giver of honors. Surat Al-Waqiyah, the inevitable event. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. When the inevitable event happens, no one will be a denier. Some will be humiliated, others honored. When the earth trembles violently, the mountains will crumble and become scattered dust. That day you will be sorted out into three lots. First will be people of the right hand. How wonderful will be those of the right hand. Second will be people of the left hand. How wretched will be those of the left hand. And third will be in the first rank, the foremost, closest to Allah. They will enjoy the delights of paradise. Many from the earlier generations, but a few from the later generations. Resting on couches decked with jewels, they will enjoy each other's company face to face, served by young people of timeless youth, carrying glasses and jugs full of the purest wine, which neither cause headache nor drunkenness. They will choose to eat fruit of all kinds and relish roasted bird's meat. Their spouses will be beautiful, like hidden pearls, a reward for what they used to do. They will hear neither idle talk nor sinful conversation, only the greetings of peace. And the people of the right hand, how wonderful are the people of the right hand, living among thornless cedar trees, bunches of bananas, widely spread cool shade, water fountains. Lots of fruit, never ending, never out of reach. They will have the most beautiful partners we especially created for them, made them virgins, passionately loving and young, especially for the people of the right hand, many from the earlier generations and many from later generations. The people of the left hand, how wretched will be those of the left hand. They will be living in surroundings of scorching winds and boiling water in the shadow of dark smoke, neither cool nor comforting. In the past life they lived in luxury and kept committing the grave sin of idolatry and said, "What, when we are dead and turned to dust and bones, will we be resurrected? And our forefathers too?" Tell them, those of the past and the later generations will be gathered together at a fixed time on a known day. Then you, the misled and the deniers, you will be forced to eat fruit from the zakum tree, filling your bellies with it. Forced to drink boiling water, you'll drink it like thirsty camels. Their welcome on Judgment Day. We created you. Why don't you accept this? Haven't you considered the semen you emit? Did you create it yourselves, or are we its creator? We decreed death will surround you, and nothing can stop us from changing you and recreating you anew, something you don't know. Since you know well your first creation in the mother's womb, why don't you pay attention? Haven't you considered what you sow? Do you make it grow, or are we its growers? If we wanted, we could have turned it into a stubble after harvest, and you would be left to wonder, why are we debtors? No, in fact, we have been robbed. Haven't you considered the water that you drink? Do you send rain from clouds, or are we the senders? If we wanted, we could make it bitter. So why don't you thank Allah? Have you considered the fire you light? Did you make the wood, or are we its makers? We made it a reminder and a beneficial thing for the traveler. So glorify the name of your mighty Lord. I swear by the position of the stars, if only you knew, this is indeed a mighty oath. Indeed, this is a majestic Quran, stored in a hidden book. Only the clean ones can touch it, a revelation from the Lord of the worlds. So how can you disrespect scripture like this? And from its blessings, all you could receive is denying it. Why then, when a dying person's last breath comes to the throat, you can't return it? You watch helplessly, though we are closer to him than you, though you can't see. Why do you think that you are not dependent on us? If you are truthful, why can't you cause that ebbing life to return? So the dying person, if they were from the closest to Allah, they shall be comfortable in fragrant and blissful paradise. And if they are from the people of the right hand, they shall be greeted with, "Peace be with you," from the people of the right hand. But if they happen to be one of the deniers, misguided, their welcome will be boiling water, a blazing fire of hell. This is the convincing truth. Messenger, glorify the name of your mighty Lord. Surat Al-Hadid, the Iron. In the name of Allah, the kind, the caring. All things in the heavens and the earth glorify Allah, the Almighty, the Wise. The heavens and the earth are in His control. He gives life, death, and has absolute control over all things. He is the first and the last, the evident and the unseen, and the knower of all things. He created heavens and the earth in 6 days, then established Himself on His throne. He knows what goes inside the earth and what comes out from it, and what comes down from the sky and what goes up. He is with you wherever you are and sees whatever you do. He has the control of the heavens and the earth, and all things will return to Allah. He extends the night into the day and the day into the night, so varying the length of day and night. He is the knower of the secrets of the mind. Believe in Allah and His Messenger, and spend from what He has handed over to you. The believers who spend in Allah's way will have a great reward. What is the matter with you that you don't believe in Allah when the Messenger calls you so that you may believe in your Lord? He has already taken a pledge from you if you are believers. He reveals clear teachings to His servant to take you out of darkness into light and treats you kindly. Why don't you spend in Allah's way? All things in the heavens and the earth belong to Allah. None of you can be equal to Him who spent and fought before the victory of Makkah. Their status is far higher than those who spent and fought afterwards. However, Allah promised to be generous to all. He is fully aware of what you do. Who will give Allah a beautiful loan so that He may multiply it for him and reward him generously? On that day you will see believing men and women with their lights shining ahead of them and on their right-hand side. Believers, here is good news for you today. A home in paradise with streams running beneath it, where you will live forever. This is the supreme victory. That day, hypocrite men and women will ask the believers, "Wait a moment, let us benefit from your light." They will be told, "Go back and get the light." Then a wall with a gate will be put up between the believers and them. Inside the wall is divine benevolence and comfort. Outside is pain and suffering. The hypocrites will then call to the believers, "Weren't we with you?" "Yes, but you succumbed to your temptations. You were hesitant to believe, full of doubts, and you were deceived by false hopes until the divine command came. The deceiver deceived you. Today, no ransom will be accepted from you or from the disbelievers. Your home will be the hellfire. That will be your residence and a wretched destination. Hasn't the time come for the believers that their hearts submit humbly to Allah's remembrance and the revealed truth? Don't be like the ancients who were given the scripture and with passing of time their hearts hardened. They were mostly lawbreakers. No, Allah gave life to earth when it was lifeless. That's how we explain for you the signs, so you may understand. Men and women who gave charity as a beautiful loan to Allah will have it multiplied for them and will be generously rewarded by Allah. The believers in Allah and His Messenger are the truthful and the martyrs in the sight of Allah. They will have a special reward and a light. The deniers of our scripture are the people of hell. You should know the worldly life is a sport and an amusement, an attraction, showing off among yourselves and wanting more wealth and children. The rain is an illustration of it. The farmer delights in the rapid growth of his crops. Then they dry and he sees them turning yellow, then turn into dry stubble. In the hereafter there will be severe punishment for the disbelievers, but for the believers, forgiveness and His divine pleasure. The life of this world is a provision that deceives. Therefore, compete with each other for your Lord's forgiveness and paradise. Its breath is like the breath of the heavens and the earth, prepared for the believers of Allah and His messengers. That's Allah's grace. He gives it to who He pleases, and Allah is the most gracious. Any disaster on earth or to yourselves is written down before it happens. This is easy for Allah. Its purpose? To ensure you don't become hopeless because of your loss, nor boast about your gain. Allah doesn't like the braggarts, or those who are miserly and tell others to be miserly. If anyone turns away, remember, Allah is self-sufficient, worthy of all praise. We sent you messengers with clear proofs, the book, and scales of justice, so people may establish justice. We sent down iron, a strong metal with many benefits for people, to see who uses this to help Allah and His messengers without seeing Him. Indeed, Allah is the strong, almighty. We sent Nuh and Ibrahim and blessed their children with prophethood and the book. Some of them were guided, but most were lawbreakers. We sent more messengers in their footsteps, including Isa, son of Maryam, to whom we gave the gospel. We filled his followers' hearts with compassion, and they invented self-denial, which we hadn't prescribed for them. They invented this in order to seek Allah's pleasure, but failed to fulfill its requirements. Those who believed, we rewarded them, but many were lawbreakers. Believers, be mindful of Allah and believe in His Messenger, so you are given a double share of His kindness. He will offer you a light to walk in and forgiveness. Allah is the forgiving, the caring. Let the people of the book know they don't control Allah's grace. That's in Allah's hand. He gives it to anyone He wants. Allah's grace is vast. Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings with you all. Thank you for visiting our channel. Please remember us in your du'as. If you enjoy listening to this translation of the Holy Quran, please consider subscribing and sharing our efforts with everyone and anyone. May Allah accept this effort of ours as sadaqah for us and our loved ones, and make it a means of our success in this life and the Akhira. Ameen, summa Ameen.